From a wonderfully warm Motor City, hello and welcome to your Daily Detroit for Monday, March 9th, 2020. I'm Jer Stays. On today's show, in the shadow of the novel coronavirus threat, Detroit homes are having their water turned back on for $25 a month. We have more details. On the eve of the Michigan primary, a new poll shows a large gap between the two Democratic candidates for president. Oakland County's first recreational dispensary opens in Hazel Park. And finally, I headed out to Detroit's Avenue of Fashion today to talk to
Fred Paul, and I'm the owner of Fahrenheit 313.
Who's opening a brick and mortar sneaker resale and exchange store with some interesting tech twists. All of that after I quickly thank our members on Patreon who make this show possible. Daily Detroit is people-powered, and our generous supporters help make sure we keep pushing Detroit's conversation forward. You can join them at patreon.com/dailydetroit. And thank you. In a measure to protect public health, water service will be restored to Detroiters who are at risk or currently have service shut off due to non-payment. The cost will be covered by the state of Michigan as a preventative measure against COVID-19, also known as the novel coronavirus. The virus has, as of this recording, no known cases in Michigan. After 30 days, Detroiters who are at risk of a water service interruption will be able to restore or keep their water service by paying only $25 a month. City residents without water or those at risk of service interruption can start Wednesday by calling the Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency at 313-386-9727 to make an appointment. And yes, I will put that in the show notes. Once an appointment is made, the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department will begin the process of restoring service or canceling a pending service interruption. According to officials, there will be no cost to get enrolled. After the first month, customers will be required to pay the $25 a month fee until the COVID-19 outbreak passes. At that time, all enrolled residents in this emergency program will be transferred to what they call a WRAP program, or a 10-30-50 payment plan, both of which will keep their water service on as long as they remain current. My 2 cents on this one, this is good news, frankly, and a great way to make some good out of a difficult situation to get so many Detroiters' water turned back on. A new poll out from the Detroit Free Press and Epic MRA doesn't look good for Democratic candidate for president, Bernie Sanders. It shows a lopsided 24-point lead for former Vice President Joe Biden, putting him ahead 51 to 27% over the senator from Vermont. However, it's important to note a couple things here. Before 2016's primary, a similar poll put Hillary Clinton out front by a large margin, and Sanders ended up winning that narrowly. 400 likely Democratic primary voters were surveyed, and the margin of error on this poll is 4.9 percentage points. Sanders leads in Michigan, as one would expect, among voters between the ages of 18 and 34. 19% of young voters are still undecided. However, the support seems not to be as strong in this key demographic for Sanders as it was in 2016. Biden has a commanding 65% of voters over the age of 50. Also important, African Americans and which demographics within that group turns out. This all is going to come down to who shows up tomorrow. I've personally learned predictions are a bad idea this primary season, so I will make none. The only thing I'll do is say if you're an interested person, make sure to go vote. The first recreational dispensary in Oakland County opens Sunday. It's called Breeze, and it's in Hazel Park. The 1,500-square-foot store on John R. between Woodward Heights and 10 Mile has marijuana and derivative products for humans, dogs, and cats. All that's required is that you're at least 21 years old with a valid ID, and all purchases are in cash. Apparently, they also have an ATM on site. There's a ton of pent-up demand for recreational marijuana currently in the state. The rollout has been rather slow compared to some areas of the country, as we have talked about before on the podcast. Next, my conversation with Fred Paul of Fahrenheit 313. So Fred, we are on the Avenue of Fashion, one of Detroit's most storied retail blocks, and you've got a new twist to it because, I mean, look, people could open shoe stores, but this is something different, and I think it's kind of on pace with what's happening in the world right now. Can you talk to me a little bit about Fahrenheit 313 and like what got you into shoes?
Yeah, for sure. So Fahrenheit 313 is Detroit's hottest sneaker exchange, and we're going to completely revolutionize the customer experience for buying, selling, and trading sneakers right here on that avenue of fashion. And the difference between the Heat Factory is that we focus on and we specialize in providing those very high-end, rare sneakers at affordable prices. So for me, it's just always been about the love or my love for sneakers ever since I can remember. I remember getting my first pair of Air Jordans in sixth grade, 13s, and it was just like love at first sight. I met some of my closest friends to this day, just bonding over our love for sneakers. So it's all about the love for me.
What are some of the hottest sneakers right now in town?
Oh, yeah, definitely Yeezys. Anything Yeezy is flying off the racks right now. So we have a pair of Yeezy Pirate Black 750s. Those are probably our rarest pair in the store right now.
Nice. So you're doing a lot of work with this. And what I think is interesting is that there is kind of like almost like a resale exchange model to this, but it's almost like in person, like an in-person stock exchange or something, as opposed to doing it all online. It's something you can actually touch and feel these. Why do you think that was important?
Yeah, I think as a sneaker culture, we love to just to see and actually be around each other. We love to talk and be able to hold a pair of shoes in our hands. I don't think anything could take away from that feeling of actually holding a pair up to the light and seeing it for the first time. So we just wanted to recreate that feel here where people can come and unapologetically just express their love. We could trade amongst each other in this place. I just wanted to be a safe haven for sneaker lovers.
So Fred, how did you wake up one day and do this? Like, how does one wake up one day and say, this is the way I'm going to go? Was there an evolution of this journey? What is it that you saw that was missing for you in your heart?
For sure. So I was a senior at Western Michigan University, broke senior at that. Let me just add that. And I just needed some cash to survive. So, being a sneakerhead my whole life, I had a pair or about 30 to 40 pair of sneakers just laying around my apartment. So I decided to just clean them up and just try to sell them. I looked online. There was no place I can go to sell these sneakers. So I just went to eBay. I listed them there under the Heat Factory, just a cool name I had came up with, and I started to release those sneakers. Every week I dropped about another 5 pair or so, and within months I was like completely sold out of all my old sneakers. And these were shoes I had been playing basketball in, things that weren't in the best conditions, but to me it showed that there was a market for it. And then I realized, hey, there's not a place in the city of Detroit where I can go to experience this. So I wanted to bring that back home once I graduated and bring that to the city for the first time. It's more about the customer experience and creating that vibe that everyone can recognize and attach to.
And so how important was it for you to do this in the city proper itself?
Oh, that's the biggest thing. Fahrenheit 313, that 313 is just, that stamp that we're Detroit all day, born and raised. So for me, it was very important. I didn't want to go anywhere else unless it was literally Detroit, Michigan, because there are a lot of Detroit's having this resurgence right now. It's the hot place to be. So there are a lot of companies that are just coming and, and popping up. But I wanted to show people that you can be from the ground up in Detroit and still, make a difference as well at the same time.
Well, and it's from the ground up, but you've got some cool features that you have planned as you're rolling this out over time. Tell me about some of those cool features. You got QR codes going on, you've got real-time like retail information on like what's in here. Talk to me about those.
Yeah, so one of the coolest features, I'll give a little bit away for you guys. One of the coolest features I'm looking forward to is, like you mentioned, like the QR codes. It's more for those sneakerheads who are on the go. So you'll be able to walk into Fahrenheit 313. You take your cell phone out of your pocket, you point it at a pair of sneakers that are on the shelves. Immediately, you'll get a pop-up with all the information and details on that shoe. Kind of like the Carfax. How many times it's been worn? What year did it come out? How much is it going for? What are the defects and what condition is that sneaker in? You'll be able to purchase right from your mobile device, and someone will bring the sneaker out from the back without ever having to really interact with someone. So we understand that these sneakerheads are on the go, and we love the flexibility that feature adds.
So how long has this journey been? How many months or years? Like how long has this been?
Yeah, so it's been going on 4 years this May.
Wow.
Yep. So we originally started online, like I mentioned a little bit before, and we realized, hey, we want to do this in the brick and mortar space. So we started to just dig into our resources and do some research around the city of Detroit, looking for programs that could help. So we enrolled in the Motor City Match program. We won that Space Award. From there, we went to Tech Town Retail Boot Camp. We won that pitch competition. Then we went back to Motor City Match to get cash. So these programs around the city of Detroit have really been a great support system for us to let us get to this point.
That is awesome to hear. So Fahrenheit 313, what's the meaning behind the name?
Yeah, so Fahrenheit 313, once again, the Detroit, of course, area code is 313, and Fahrenheit, we just wanted to show like this is really the heat in the city of Detroit, 313, 313 degrees, whatever you call it, that's we really wanted to just illustrate that this is the hottest sneaker exchange in the city.
And these doors, they're going to open soon, aren't they?
They're opening on 3/13. So we'll be open from 12 to 8 p.m. That's our grand opening. We'll have dozens of sneakers for retail price. We'll have live giveaways, raffles. Just a bunch of stuff going on.
Well, that's exciting, man. Fred, thank you so much for your time today.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
All right, that'll do it for today. Sven's in the studio tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Behind the scenes, it looks like we have a second mascot dog. She does not have a name, but was a street pup found over by Dexter. She's very interested in learning the art of podcasting, and I will be sure to post some adorable pictures on Instagram. She's really stealing all our hearts. With that, I'm Jer Stays. Take care of each other, and we'll see you around Detroit.